What up, Bucs fans? It's C. Tyson Synopsis coming at you with the facts and stats, so you don't have to go through all that. I'm gonna bring you all the kind of detailed stats of this past game. Bucs versus Packers, Week 6, 2020. Great game. Probably one of the best games that we've had since last year. We had a dominating win over the Falcons. We had a really good Rams game, but I can't remember us beating a team this good in a long time. Probably since the 2016 run we had against the Chiefs and the Seahawks. But anyways, let's get into this. I got all these stats and kind of highlights to bring you guys. So I'll start with the highlights, get into a couple of the low lights, and then I'll break down kind of my closing remarks and let you know how we're looking going into Week 7. So this is the 15th meeting between multiple MVP winning quarterbacks. It's happened 15 times. The home quarterback is now 12-3. So Brady has multiple MVPs. I want to say 4, and I know Rodgers has like 2, I believe. Brady came out with the win. We were home. I think that the home fans ended up being really good for us. The noise is a lot more genuine. Although I was told, I was listening to the T-Kraz and Michael Clayton show, they were saying there was a lot of Packers fans though. But anyways, that the home field definitely has been working out for us. We're undefeated. We're 3-0 thus far at home. In previous years, we couldn't get a win at home. During the early 2000s, early 2010s, we just couldn't steal a win at home. So being 3-0 at home just kind of tells you what Tom Brady brings to this team. We get up and we stay up. Or if we go down, we'll come back. We came back down from 17 against the Chargers, really dominated. I think it was the Panthers. So we're looking good. Next up, Brady had a good game. The offense was productive. Not world beaters. They just played sound football. 17 for 27. He only threw the ball 27 times, so that's a ratio for winning football. You have a really good balance of rushing and passing. You're going to be looking good. So 17 for 27, 166 yards, 2 TDs. Passing, one was to Tyler Johnson, one was to Gronkowski. Congrats to Gronk for his first touchdown of the year. The biggest stat, 0 picks and 0 turnovers from Brady, which is great. If we can create turnovers, we got 2 turnovers today, and we cannot turn the ball over, we can beat any team in this league. As you can see, we dominated the Packers. Final score was 38-10. After the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, our defense did not allow them a single point. So that's great. Brady, 104.9 passer rating. I think out of a possible like 120 something. So he played amazing. Rodgers, however, this is probably his worst game in a long time. This Bucs defense is for real. Rodgers, 16 for 35. This dude's made less. His completion percentage was less than 50%, which is crazy. Only got 160 yards, so comparable in yardage for Brady and Rodgers. 0 TDs, 2 interceptions, passer rating of 35.4. Insane. Just dropping facts. Rushers, Ronald Jones, 25 rushes. Again, another rushing game over 100 yards. He had a $122, 2 touchdowns. Fantasy, my ass had him on the bench, but I still busted ass in fantasy. 26 fantasy points. This cat was fucking, excuse my language, this cat was balling out of control. This is a Ronald Jones that I think a lot of us saw was going to break through last year. He had a couple good games last year, but this year he's really proven himself. I think in the broadcast, Joe Bucks said something along, move over Muscle Hamster. So he's playing well. This is the best back we've had since Doug Martin in his kind of 2 years that he played really well. As for the Packers running back, Aaron Jones, 13 rushes, 41 yards, 1 TD. Only had 13 points in fantasy. So we, again, really dominated this team in terms of the amount of yards they had on the ground. Our run defense is amazing. The loss of Vita Vea, I think a lot of us were thinking that that would be a big issue for our run defense. It really didn't show today. Um, I gotta give a shout out to Nunez Roches. He played amazing. Um, he was moving the pocket. We got a lot of pressure up the middle, which enabled our blitzers, Devin White, Levante David, our two outside rushing linebackers, Shaq Barrett, JPP. They all had a great game. Kind of quiet for Shaq Barrett, but when you got three other dudes that are getting sacks, four other dudes getting sacks, you can't really complain. Bucs become first team since 2006 Vikings to allow fewer than 100 rushing yards in 12 games. So we haven't allowed an 100-yard rusher in 12 games. If I can remember correctly, I think the last time we let up 100 yards was against the Titans, if I'm not mistaken. All the way back last year. In the Titans game, we should have won. They took away, I think it was like a blocked punt that we scored for a touchdown. We should have won that game. But yeah, we have had 12 straight games with a rusher under 100 yards. Next week's gonna be a tough week. We got the Raiders in Vegas. Obviously, a winnable game. You see how we can play against these great teams. I mean, the Packers are on fire, and we actually shut them down. Moving into some more kind of next gen stats or kind of overall career stats. Brady 27-5 in career in games with 10 plus days rest. So when this dude has some time to work with his teammates, even though it's brand new coach, brand new teammates, with some time, this dude really can have a great effect on your team. I think that he's really more important to this offense in terms of coaching than honestly Byron Leftwich is. I think that this dude Brady is able to get in their heads, kind of really get them to focus, which is really important. So that was a pretty interesting stat. Rodgers, last four of five following a bye, he has lost. I didn't see a lot of people bring this up, but the Buccaneers historically have played well against Rodgers. The last time we played the Packers, we played their backup. I forget the guy's name. It wasn't Deshaun Kaiser. It was the other light-skinned dude. I forget his name. But we usually intercept him. And we back when we played him a couple times when we were wearing the creamsicles. I remember Tanar Jackson had a pick six on him. So we really played well against Rodgers. So yeah, he's lost 4 of his last 5 games following a bye. So the Packers, we really showed the whole NFL that this team has a lot of work to do. So I'm glad we got the win. I would have liked to have last week's win. We'd be 5-1, but it's the NFL any given Sunday. Moving on, Ronald Jones, 4th Buccaneers running back with 3 consecutive back-to-back 100 rushing yard games. If you guys can guess, 3 other running backs have done that in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history. I'll give you a second to see if you know who it is. Most recently, Doug Martin. Before him, Cadillac Williams. And you got to go way back. Warwick Dunn didn't do it. Allstott didn't do it. Pittman didn't do it. James Wilder was the third running back to ever, the 4th running back to ever have 3 consecutive 100-yard games. So Rojo is now in kind of Bucs history in terms of rushing 3 consecutive 100-yard games, getting in the same ranks with Doug Martin, Cadillac, and James Wilder. So a lot of these, this was a breaking game for us. Really a great game. What else we got? Okay, so this year we've had 400-yard rushers. If you remember, Fournette had a 100-yard rushing game, and then the past 3 games, Rojo has had 100-yard rushing games. In the past 3 seasons combined, we've only had 300-yard rushers. And if you were to ask me right now who those people were, I couldn't even tell you. I think Doug Martin might have been on the team back in 2017. Um, I don't remember Peyton Barber ever having a 100-yard rushing game. Oh, you know what? I think what's his name? What's the um, J- J- Jacquizz Rogers. I think he had one, but you really got to go through and check the 100-yard rushers in the past 3 seasons. It's crazy. Gronk finally gets a touchdown, his 79th touchdown reception from Tom Brady, which is a record. He has received the most touchdown passes from Tom Brady out of anybody, which makes sense. He's played a long time with him, so good for Gronk. Finally got a touchdown. He was actually our top receiver today, which is crazy. He had 78 yards receiving, so good for him. Green Bay, first giveaway of the season, which is crazy. First giveaway this season, we have 2 huge picks with basically back to back. 3 attempts, 1 pick, throws a ball. Third attempt, throws another ball to us. So Green Bay was basically as hot as you can be after the first 4 games, and we really took it to them. So what else? Um, Bucks have, but oh yeah, another thing besides our running, our defense getting turnovers or picks. We have picks in the past 5 straight games, which is the first time we've had picks in 5 consecutive games since we went on that nice little run in 2016 where we beat the Chargers, we beat the Seahawks, we beat the Chiefs. So this is the best football we've played in a long time. And if you guys remember in 2016, we finished the year 9-7, and with the amount of turnovers that Jameis had and our defense being much better, and our running game being much better, we're looking up right now. So excited about that. Now let me get into some of the low lights. There isn't many. I kind of had to be a little bit picky with these, but in terms of our offense, our defense was so dominant today that the ball really went to only a couple guys. So a lot of guys that we normally see that have big games really didn't. For instance, Mike Evans, 1 catch, 10 yards. Shady, this dude had 1 catch for 6 yards, and he had 4 rushes for 1 yard. I think one of the biggest issues that I had with today's play calling, it was overall good, but we had a couple back-to-back rushes where we were rushing LaShawn McCoy. Nah, we can't give this guy the ball. He's in there for one thing to catch. He can't run anymore. He's not. He doesn't get the speed. Um, not Vince Vaughn. Keyshawn Vaughn. He had a good game. He only had like 3 rushes, but I think I actually have that. Keyshawn Vaughn, 5 rushes, 42 yards. He played well. So Shady, we don't need to be handing the ball off to that guy. He don't got it. Scotty Miller, he had 1 catch for 6 yards. He's usually he also had a big play for a pass interference. They got us on like the 1 yard line. So I can't be too upset with him. But he only had 1 catch. Brate, make Cam Brate again. 1 catch, 3 yards. It is what it is. Fournette still hurt. This dude, I mean, I can't be mad. Our running game is going extremely well with Rojo, but you'd like to see Fournette get healthy. I think our coaching staff sees that we're going to be able to make a deep run in the playoffs, so they want to keep him healthy. So when we get into the playoffs, we'll have a really solid 1-2 punch with Ronald Jones and Fournette. So um, that's that. That's kind of the only issues I had. I couldn't find a single thing that I didn't like on defense. besides those first two drives that the Packers had, where they were getting a couple, underneath routes and taking them, 15 yards. Our defense played one hell of a game. Um, what can I say? I mean, we just we just were phenomenal today. Um, in terms of some defensive stats that would kind of get you guys excited. Jamel Dean had a pick. He finally had an instance where they had a receiver just like Justin Watson's, even a little bit better than Watson, ran that out and couldn't get there. What's the cat's name from Green Bay? Devontae Adams made a quick out, didn't give you that wiggle at the top of the route, breaks out, so he kind of, forecasts his route. Jamel Dean, fast as hell, breaks on the ball, gets a pick six. Good for him. Reminded me a lot of that pick that we had against the Niners last year. I won't mention that guy's name. He's on another team. Don't mess with him no more. Edwards' pick, really aggressive. His first play, he got in. Winfield was a little hurt. Hurt his arm. I don't think he's out for next week, but hurt his arm. Mike Edwards comes in, um, basically just takes the ball from the receiver, just basically rips it out, gets a little return, sets us up for another pick six. Right after that play, Ronald Jones knocks it in for like a 3-yard run or something like that, if I remember correctly. Devin White, 1 sack. He was all over the field, getting tackles. I think he led. No, actually, Levante led the team in tackles, but yeah, he had a sack, played well. Levante David, probably one of his best games in a long time. 1.5 sacks, led the team with 9 tackles. This dude, Levante David, mark my words, could possibly win defensive MVP if he's able to keep this level of play up. Um, Overall, he's just played extremely well. So I'm excited about him, going into the next couple weeks. As long as we stay healthy, knock on wood, this defense is going to be great. What else we got? Carlton Davis, 4 pass breakups. This dude is a flat-out beast. Um, Bar none, the best corner we've had since, I guess you could say, uh, Talib. Um, Before that, you could even say, I mean, we only had what's his name for the 1 year, Revis Island. We only had him for a year. He didn't really play that well, honestly. He was with us, but this is our best corner we've had since Aqib Talib. You might even say he's better than Aqib Talib. So it might be our best corner since Rondé Barber. So Carlton Davis, what a hell of a pick by Jason Light. Um, I know that a lot of people have had issues with his secondary picks, but it took us about 5 or 6 picks, to finally find, 2 solid corners in Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis, but and Winfield, but we got him. Sean Marie Bunting had a decent game. He got beat on a couple of zone reads that he should have had. He kind of moved over into uh, an area where it should have been in the flat. So he didn't have that great of a game, but he didn't have any big plays he let up. So can't really hate on him too much. JPP, 1.5 sacks. Really came off the edge strong. He's just so consistent. Not really much to say there. And Dominican Sue had a sack and a half. Got into Aaron Rodgers' face heavy after he sacked him. I think I was hearing that Aaron Rodgers spit at him, which is I honestly I was watching the game with friends, so I couldn't see that. But yeah, I was watching Tatum Two Bucks, another Bucks YouTuber, talking about Aaron Rodgers tried to spit on him. So good for Sue. It reminds me of when he was back with the Lions when he kind of stomped on Aaron Rodgers' head. But yeah, Sue, he dominated the middle of the ball. I think people after today can really realize that the center and of our run defense is going to be fine without Vita Vea. But I'll get into more after these couple things. Um, we finally saw Khalil Davis, the rookie, and Ledbetter. They both played today. I don't remember them getting into any tackles or anything like that, but they were both in there. They're both big as hell, so they played pretty well. Anthony Nelson had I want to say a tackle for loss, or something like that. He played good. The guy O'Connor played pretty well. So we got depth on defensive line. I like O'Connor, and I like Anthony Nelson. I think they're both kind of like similar to Carl Nassib. Um, Khalil Davis, big young dude. I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. So um, before um, I might as well just talk about it now. The Bucs got a big trade today. We pick up this guy McClendon from the Jets. I had heard about him a couple times. Steve McClendon from the Jets. So this dude is a nose tackle. He started off with the Steelers back in 2010, played with them until 2015. Now he's been with the Jets since 2016 till present. So this dude is 34, a veteran, played with Todd Bowles' defense. I think that's why we picked him up, is because he's played with Todd Bowles. This dude's 34, so he's a vet that's looking for 1 or 2 more years, and he's out of here. So that kind of tells me that we're going for it. In years past, we almost did nothing in the middle of the season. So with the pickup of this guy, which we really didn't have to give anything for him, we basically just swapped late round picks. We get the Jets 7th round from 2023, and we give up our 6th round 2022. So that's a pick that's probably the player that we draft in that spot's probably not going to make the roster anyway. So whatever, we basically get the guy for free. The Jets just want to get him off their payroll. The Jets are 0-6. They know what it is. They're going to be tanking for what's the dude's name into Clemson. So yeah, we're going for it all. I think Jason Light and our team, we already know that this year, next year, this is it. If we don't win it within the next 2 or 3 years, if Brady comes back, we're gonna have to blow this thing up. So, Bucs fans, this is our time this year and next year. Unless we, for some reason, get a quarterback in the late round this year or the following year, we're gonna be starting from square one in 2020 to 2023. So we're really heading into it pretty hard. Last thing I want to mention before I get off with you guys. Our own line played extremely well. No sacks, no turnovers, no penalties. When was the last time you could say that? I mean, for real. No sacks given up, no turnovers, and 0 penalties. That's crazy. You already know Tom Brady was in the locker room after last week's game, cussing everybody out, probably threatening people that he's going to get somebody to murk their families if they jump off sides again. He probably put Ryan Jensen in a headlock, and his wife was about to knock him out or something crazy. You already know Tom Brady said something crazy to him. Penalties 0, crazy, absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, this game was just, if our offense had the ball more and was able to get going a little bit more, I would say that this is the best game that we've played since the Super Bowl, since our Super Bowl win. Really, special teams was great. Suck Up had a 50-yard field goal. Just an overall great game. So, see Tyson synopsis, breaking it down for you guys. I gotta get up on some editing, make my videos a little bit more crispy. I basically gotta teach myself how to do that, but I'm trying to do a weekly breakdown. Hopefully, get in the mix with some of the other Bucs YouTubers. Hopefully, they can teach me some of their tricks in their of their video editing, stuff like that. So, just trying to grow the community of the Bucs, the Bucs fans. So, yeah. I'm trying to focus on more kind of stats driven things and stuff like that. But we'll see. Synopsis, see Tyson Synopsis. That's the name of the channel. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you guys want to link up, I'll invite anybody on the show. You just send me a quick comment. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram at Coltalino, COULTLINO. Um, we'll I'd love to have some Bucks fans on here to talk about the game. I'm all the way up in Philadelphia, so not many Bucks fans here in Philly. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, me signing out. See Tyson synopsis. Peace.